The top scientists of the Galactic Alliance gathered in the conference room of the flagship Veritas, preparing for an important meeting. They had been studying Earth for decades, a planet classified as a deadly world due to its harsh conditions and terrifying creatures. However, despite their advanced technology and vast knowledge, they still found Earth's biodiversity incomprehensible and extremely hostile. Dr. Zor, a renowned biologist from the planet Zor, stepped up to the three-dimensional display screen, frowning as he manipulated it to focus on an inconspicuous creature, the rabbit. According to our records, he began, this tiny animal is responsible for causing significant ecological disruptions. Its reproductive rate and insatiable appetite have made it a dominant force in many different environments. The room echoed with murmurs of disbelief. A representative from the insectoid GR race clicked their mandibles in astonishment. Such a small species can have that much impact. It's illogical. Commander Varak, a stern figure from the warrior Dran race, leaned forward, eyes narrowing. Is this why Earth is a deadly world, because of these rabbits? Dr. Zor shook his head. No, the rabbit is just one example. Earth's entire ecosystem operates on the principle of constant struggle and adaptation. Predators and prey engage in a never-ending arms race, each species evolving more dangerous adaptations to survive. What we have here, he paused for dramatic effect, is an environment where every creature is locked in a battle for dominance, making the planet incredibly hostile. He pointed at the screen, and the image shifted to display an array of Earth's dangerous species. The room collectively shuddered as they saw a grizzly bear mauling its prey, a pack of wolves coordinating a hunt, and a venomous snake striking with lightning speed. These are just a small fraction of the creatures on Earth. From tiny bacteria to apex predators, each organism is honed to survive by destroying others. Dr. Zor continued, but what truly sets Earth apart is the humans. They not only survive in this deadly environment but thrive, becoming the dominant species. Their creativity, adaptability, and resilience are unmatched. The room fell silent as the weight of Dr. Zor's words sank in. The Galactic Alliance was beginning to realize that Earth was not just an ordinary planet but a world of relentless struggle for life, where humans emerged as the ultimate rulers. Suddenly, an alarm bell rang out, cutting through the scientists' thoughts. A cold, robotic voice echoed through the communication system, unidentified lifeform detected on the Veritas. Security breach in Sector 7. The scientists exchanged worried glances. On the most secure ship of the Galactic Alliance, breaches were almost unheard of. Commander Varak immediately took charge, all non-essential personnel evacuate to safe zones. Security teams converge on Sector 7. Dr. Zor's heart raced as he hurriedly gathered his notes and prepared to leave. Just as he was about to exit the room, a young scientist stumbled in, face pale and eyes wide with fear. Commander, it's a human. The conference room fell into a deathly silence. The mere mention of a human on board sent shivers down everyone's spines. Varak clenched his fists. How could a human bypass our defenses? The young scientist stammered, we don't know, sir. But he's armed and seems to know exactly where he's going. Dr. Zor's mind raced. If a human was present on the Veritas, it could only mean one thing, they were in grave danger. He turned to Varak, Commander, we must contain this threat immediately. A single human could cause devastation on our ship. Varak nodded, his expression grim. Agreed. Let's move out. We cannot let this deadly world jeopardize our mission. As the scientists and security teams moved to intercept the intruder, Dr. Zor couldn't help but marvel at the audacity and cunning of the human. In the heart of the Galactic Alliance's safest ship, a lone human had successfully infiltrated. The true nature of Earth as a deadly world was becoming increasingly apparent, and the stakes had never been higher. The corridors of the Veritas echoed with hurried footsteps and instructions over the communication system. Dr. Zor and Commander Varak led the way, flanked by armed security personnel. The ship's advanced sensors and automated defense systems had been bypassed in an unbelievable feat, one that seemed impossible until now. They reached Sector 7, a storage area filled with crates and advanced equipment. The room was dimly lit, the shadows casting eerie shapes on the walls. Varak signaled for his team to spread out and secure the area. "Stay alert," he whispered, gripping his plasma rifle tightly. "We don't know what this human is capable of." Dr. Zor's mind raced through the possibilities. Humans were known for their adaptability and unpredictability. A single human intruder could pose a significant threat, not only to the ship, but possibly to their entire mission. Suddenly, a sound echoed from behind a stack of crates. Varak signaled for his team to advance. They moved cautiously, weapons trained on the source of the sound. As they rounded the corner, they came face to face with the human intruder. He was a tall, muscular figure, clad in black tactical gear that seemed to blend into the shadows. His eyes were sharp and calculating, a stark contrast to the calm expression on his face. In his hands, he held a sleek, compact weapon, unlike anything the aliens had seen before. "Freeze right there," Varak shouted, aiming his gun at the man. "You're surrounded. Surrender now, and you won't be harmed." A faint smile played on the man's lips. "I doubt that," he replied, his voice calm and confident, "but I'm not here to fight." Dr. Zor stepped forward, curious despite the danger. "Then why are you here?" The man's eyes locked onto Zor's. "I'm here to deliver a message." Varak frowned. "A message from whom?" "From Earth," the man said simply, "and it's one you need to hear." The tension in the room was palpable. The security team gripped their weapons tightly, ready to react at a moment's notice. However, Dr. Zor felt this was an opportunity to learn more about this species. "Let him speak," Zor urged, "we may gain valuable information." Varak hesitated, then gave a curt nod. "You have 2 minutes. Make it quick." The man lowered his weapon slightly, though his stance remained guarded. "I am Mark Harris, Special Forces, Earth Defense Force. We know about your observations and studies of our planet, and while we have endured your curiosity, we can no longer ignore your presence." Dr. Zor frowned. "What do you mean?" "Our purposes are purely scientific." Harris shook his head. "Whatever your purposes, your presence threatens the delicate balance of our world. Earth is a deadly world, yes, but it is our home. We have adapted to its challenges and grown stronger, but your interference could cause severe instability." Varak's eyes narrowed. "Instability how?" Harris's expression hardened. "Your experiments, your probes, even your mere observation is having an impact. Species are reacting to your presence in ways you cannot comprehend. Ecosystems are shifting, and humans are starting to notice." Dr. Zor was stunned. "We didn't realize our actions were causing such disruption, but you must understand that our goal is to learn, not to harm." "Learning has its price," Harris replied, "and Earth has paid enough." Varak stepped closer, his gun still trained on Harris. "So what do you propose?" "That we simply abandon our research." Harris's gaze didn't waver. "I propose that you respect our sovereignty. Earth is not just a subject of scientific study, it is a living world with its own rules. You need to leave and never return." The room fell silent as the weight of Harris's words sank in. Dr. Zor felt a pang of remorse. They had always looked at Earth from a distance, as an object of curiosity and study, but to its inhabitants, it was home, a place worth protecting at all costs. Mark Harris stood in the middle of the conference room, his voice calm yet resolute. "The Galactic Alliance's presence on Earth is causing severe instability. Your goals may be scientific, but your actions are threatening the delicate balance of our planet. Harris explained that the Alliance's experiments and probes had caused Earth's ecosystems to react in unpredictable ways. Species had altered their behavior, and humans were beginning to notice the presence of extraterrestrial forces. Earth is a deadly world, but it is our home. We have adapted and thrived on its challenges. Your interference could cause uncontrollable instability. Commander Varak's eyes narrowed. Instability how? Harris explained that the Alliance's presence had caused shifts in Earth's ecosystems and inhabitants, pushing species into new conflicts and altering environmental structures. Learning has its price, Harris said, and Earth has paid enough. Varak stepped closer, his gun still aimed at Harris. So what do you propose? That we simply abandon our research. Harris held his gaze steady. I propose that you respect our sovereignty. Earth is not just a subject of scientific study, it is a living world with its own rules. You need to leave and never return. The room fell silent as Harris's words sank in. Dr. Zor felt a deep sense of remorse. They had always looked at Earth from a distance, as an object of curiosity and study, but to its inhabitants, it was home, a place worth protecting at all costs. Harris continued, we have observed you for a long time, and have endured your curiosity. But now, we can no longer ignore your presence. Earth is a world full of danger, but it is also our home, and we will protect it at all costs. Commander Varak frowned, you want us to leave and never come back? Harris nodded, yes. We only desire to live in peace. Respect our boundaries, and you will have no quarrel with us. We are open to sharing knowledge and engaging in diplomacy, but on our terms. Dr. Zor stepped forward, Admiral Koch, perhaps we should reconsider our approach. The data we've gathered is invaluable, but the cost may be too high. Maybe it's time we consider a different path. Admiral Koch considered for a moment, then turned to Harris, if we agree to cease our studies and withdraw from your system, can you ensure there will be no further hostilities? Harris smiled slightly, we only desire to live in peace. Respect our boundaries, and you will have no quarrel with us. We are open to sharing knowledge and engaging in diplomacy, but on our terms. The council members whispered among themselves before the elder from the planet Zainara raised a hand, requesting silence. Very well, Captain Harris, we will honor your request. The Galactic Alliance will withdraw from Earth's system and cease all invasive studies. We hope this marks a new era of mutual respect and cooperation. Harris inclined his head slightly, thank you, council members. You have made a wise decision. Earth will welcome peaceful relations with the Galactic Alliance. With the Council's decision made, Admiral Koch turned to Harris, your team will be safely escorted off the Veritas. I believe this resolution will lead to better understanding between our species. After the tense negotiations, Harris and his team were escorted off the Veritas. As he stepped onto the shuttle, Harris couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in their accomplishment. Humanity had asserted its sovereignty and earned the respect of the Galactic Alliance. Upon returning to Earth, Harris and his team reported on the successful negotiation. The message had been conveyed clearly, Earth was a formidable force, and its inhabitants were not to be underestimated. The Galactic Alliance had realized that their interference could have dire consequences. In the days that followed, the Galactic Alliance kept its promise, withdrawing all probes and research teams from Earth's system. Diplomatic channels were established, and a fragile peace settled over the universe. Earth, with its reputation as a deadly world, was now also regarded as a place of strength and unity. Dr. Zor, having returned from the emotionally charged encounter, couldn't help but reflect on what had transpired. He realized that Earth was not merely an object of curiosity and study but also home to resilient and ingenious beings. Earth's secrets still remained, waiting to be discovered, but from now on, they would approach with caution and respect. Earth had spoken, and its message had been heard loud and clear. Its harsh trials had forged its inhabitants into indomitable warriors, ready to defend their home at all costs. They didn't just survive in the deadly world, they thrived and became a symbol of resilience and ingenuity. As the scientists of the Galactic Alliance continued their work, they knew they had to respect Earth's boundaries and find ways to collaborate rather than intrude. They understood that knowledge and progress had to go hand in hand with respect and understanding. Earth, with all its complexity and danger, had become a valuable lesson for the entire Alliance. With this new beginning, the Galactic Alliance and Earth could move forward together into an era of cooperation and mutual understanding. Peace and respect would be the foundation of the relationship between the species, and Earth, with all its deadliness, would continue to be a symbol of unparalleled resilience and adaptability.